How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. We're reacting to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 10. What They Become. Maybe what the worthy become? I guess that's what I'm guessing. What the worthy become. I don't think it's going to be what the unworthy become, like what's going on with Mac. I don't think it's going to be just that. This is the last episode of Season 2 we are doing before we are jumping into Agent Carter, by the way. If you're not aware, if you have not been keeping up with, what we're doing on the channel or anything like that for the schedule, we are doing the entire MCU in release order perfectly from here on out. So yeah, after episode 10 of season 2, we're doing the entire first season of Agent Carter, and then we are going back to season 2 until episode 19 for Ultron, Age of Ultron. So, yep, that's the plan. After this episode, Carter for 8 episodes, back to season 2 till episode 19, and then Age of Ultron. So, let's get into this last episode too. And yeah, this is also seems to be fitting as a way to do it anyway, because there was a break between, after this episode, all of Agent Carter aired week by week, and then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came back week by week. So, it definitely seems like you were supposed to watch it in between, whether I was doing it this way or not. Anyway, let's check this episode out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and see what the hell is going to happen, what the city is going to be like. Because we're sealing it up, but let's be real, we're going back down, aren't we? Well, I was just starting to think that maybe none of the main characters are going to die. Maybe they all have plot armor. I tend to think that mostly I would say that I believed Coulson and Skye would probably never die. Coulson, Skye, and May. I would say are three that I still think probably will never die. They have plot armor. But I was starting to think, okay, maybe this is one of those shows where just like anybody that's in the main cast has plot armor, essentially. But no, that is not the case. Trip is gone. I cannot see. I mean, he crumbled apart. It's no well, maybe there's a way to reverse it. He crumbled to pieces. It ain't happening. And I don't think we're gonna be following Dr. Stone rules here. I don't think there is a way that he's gonna be coming back. So, yeah. I hopefully in Agent Carter we'll get to see some of Gabe Jones, get to see more of his grandfather, and I don't know, that would be nice, just to live on his memory. But I mean, I guess the other way around. But yeah, as I was saying a couple episodes ago, Trip was the one who had no personal connection to the plot. Everyone else is very personally connected to the overarching plot, or has mysteries about them in some way. But Trip doesn't. Even Mac has the thing going with Bobby and everything. So even him has, even he has some sort of connection to it. But Trip is just kind of been this pure wholesome guy on the team. He's never really he's always just been fully trusting of everything. He's totally been trusting Coulson the whole time. Never really questioned his orders or that Coulson was not doing the right thing or anything like that. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but he was very wholesome in that way. I really loved his scenes with Skye, especially. I feel like those two had some great chemistry just as friends, but also I was secretly kind of hoping for something more between the two of them. I did not care for the Simmons ship they were hinting at with him and Simmons. Way more into the idea that him and Skye were going to get together, because I thought they just worked together much better. But ain't happening now. Ain't happening now. I do like his role on the show, though. Well, I mean, aside from the whole Howling Commandos thing, that was a bit of he had other parts to his character, but that sort of just became what he did. He was just the guy who had all the old stuff, which they'll still have. It's not like they just won't have it anymore. But yeah, I really liked his character, as I talked about before. But the city guy, the the sort of chill one who never really got upset about anything. He was really nice, and just him being there in that final scene, regardless of his death and everything like that, just having him there in that scene with Sky and Reyna, felt very surreal. Like, it wasn't until that moment where I did feel like, of a lot of the characters on the crew, like, the one I would want to be there in that moment is Trip. Like, I realized now, like, Trip is someone who cares a hell of a lot about Sky, I feel like, and everybody on the crew. He's so unquestioning and so I was to say, unwaveringly faithful. That's what I meant to say, not unfaithful. But and also an extremely good agent, as we've seen. Like, you know, he's not up there with May or I don't know, like, I don't know how I would say Trip is on the scale of our powerhouses on the Coulson team. But he is a ground agent. He is a field agent. I mean, you know, he is extremely capable. We have seen that, and he is very quick thinking. He doesn't, like, you know, ask, should I do this? Should I do that? He just does it when he thinks, you know, when he's like, oh, it gets tingle, you know, something bad's about to happen. He's on top of that shit. I realized that, you know, I would want him in that moment. Of all the people on the team, he was the one that I would trust the most with a scenario that required quick thinking and everything. And morals. And yeah, I guess we'll never really know if what he did saved them or did nothing. It honestly could have done absolutely nothing and only served to kill him, but I'm not sure if we'll ever know. Maybe these new people will find out, but he was certainly one hell of an agent. Rest in peace, Antoine Triplet. Again, I started to like him, man. At least Mac is okay. Like, at least we didn't lose 2 characters in one episode, or close to one episode. So, I'm going to call them the Gifted. The Gifted, we have the Immortal Mother, Cal, Sky's father, Sky, Reyna, this No Eyes guy, the girl who's talking on the phone to, some others. They all had their own obelisk, seems, at least him and the girl, because it called her and saying, are you seeing this? And then Reyna's grandmother, I assume. But yeah, so, they all have different shit going on. It's not all immortal. Reyna looks like she might actually be turning into a real monster or something. I actually think it would be hilarious if she got the worst outcome of all this and is just horrific looking. There's nothing good that came out of this. She just, like, only got, you know, I really hope that is, I want her to, like, just suffer for what she did here. Which I really was not expecting her to be such a big character. I cannot believe that. At the end of, you know, even at the end of season 1, I would have just been like, yeah, she's going to come back, but she's probably not going to be a huge character, but goddamn was I wrong. And yeah, so Sky, she, like, Reyna didn't seem to do the same blasting that Sky did. So, that was like, it's not something that happens just because of this effect. It's something that Sky did. So she has some sort of like a wind blast thing. I'm not trying to say that it's like a power or anything, but is that what's causing the place to crumble as well? We have to talk about the destiny. She was the one to have to do this, that people are going to hate her afterwards and be terrified of her and blah, 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 blah. But, I guess we'll see how that... I got a long ways to wait to see how that happens. I got an entire fucking season of Agent Carter to get through first, but we'll get back to this eventually and find out what the hell happened. Okay, so the beginning of the episode, I think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has the best visual effects when it comes to air battles and, you know, flying and just the planes in general. We have like Garrett and Coulson versus the S.H.I.E.L.D. planes. We had May versus the Hydra Quinjets at the beginning of this episode. All looks fantastic. It looks great. I think the worst effects are like rock-like textures, very like hard textures that are stationary. Because even when they're moving and malleable and stuff like that, it still looks pretty good. It still looks okay. the Gravitonium, Tobias the Ghost Man. That all looked pretty good. When Donnie like does his like freezing, when the rock like texture, the hard texture is actually moving, like Creel or the Obelisk or something, it still looks good then too. But when it's like this rock texture that's affixed to a point, and they have to like work with it, like with the rock falling off, or with the people who are fully stoned, it just doesn't look that good. When they, like a piece of them breaks or anything, or just like in general, it just doesn't look that good. I don't know what it is specifically about like fixed on like rock like textures. Like again, the rock pieces like falling and breaking apart from their face and stuff didn't look that good. But then as soon as they did the breakout and the rocks were moving and crumbling and stuff like that looked really, really good. Yeah, I wonder what their issue is with that specifically. If it is just a much harder thing to do, or I'm not sure what. But yeah, Fitz and Simmons actually got to talk a little bit more naturally now. This episode, it felt like. We're still nowhere near the way we used to be, but we're getting to a new normal, and that's as far as we're gonna get. Things are never gonna be the same, and change sucks, as Cal said, but change is change. It's gonna happen regardless. Speaking of Cal, I really hope we can redeem him in some way. I did not think I would have said that even an episode ago. But I do hope we can. I really like him now. I never really thought about it from his perspective. I've kind of been anti, this guy's father, anti-Cal the whole time. But I've never really looked at it from where he's coming from. It really is him going after and hunt down all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that's a really questionable part about it. But the rest of it is all fine. The rest of it I honestly don't fault him for at all. Depending on how much of the losing control it was, right? That's a big part of it too. We don't know exactly how much he loses control. But yeah, I feel incredibly bad for him. Unlike I do Ward. Ward can go fuck himself. Even from Ward's perspective, go fuck himself. No matter how you look at it from Ward's perspective, he's a piece of shit, evil, goddamn awful person. Now he's got a dog in the form of Agent 33. He's gonna do anything he says. He's turning into Garrett. Like, he is just straight up becoming Garrett. It's ridiculous. Very glad to see Skye get into just shoot, very cathartic. Just unloading into his back like 3 times. Hot damn. I'm glad he isn't dead there, because I would want him to die in a way worse way. But that was nice, and I do just want to stick around because I love him as a character. As much as I hate him, as a person, I love him as a character. He's fascinating. He's my number one. But yeah, where else was I? Just the whole talk between Skye and her father and Cal in that room was the highlight of the entire episode. Absolutely. The best part of it. When we come back to the city stuff, which I was so hyped for, I was like, no, I don't care about this. Go back. I want to go back to this talk. But yeah, that was very emotional in more ways than one. Very sad we didn't get to see Cal rip Whitehall to pieces. I wanted to see him tear his ass apart. Whitehall got to die so unceremoniously, but at the same time, it's kind of very fitting. If he is actually dead, I'm worried that maybe the immortality thing makes him not be able to die, but the mother did die, so he should die. But either way, having it be so unceremonious, having it not be this grand finale to his life, having it just be bam, 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 and then you're dead. And that's it. And, everything you did, everything you've worked for, your whole life waiting so long for this, nah. You don't even get to think about how you don't get to accomplish it. You're dead before you can even think about it. It is perfect in its own way. I did want to see him get ripped to pieces, but, I understand why they did it this way. And it also creates a great divide between Coulson and Cal, which he's always had just because of Coulson's relationship with Skye in the series. But also now, before that happened, he might have been able to get over it. He might have been able to be like, well, you know what? The past is the past and everything is whatever, and let's all skip towards the sunset and have a great time. Even though, we still have the whole problem of him wanting to fill this prophecy and all that and blah 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 blah. But if he explained it clearer, maybe it would have helped. But yeah. So this divide really was necessary to have like a really dividing divide between them, not letting him do what he's wanted to do his whole life, or at least for a while now. That's a good point actually. He doesn't age that much either, because he did not look that. I didn't really thought about that, but it would have been 70 years, right? Between, yeah, because Whitehall grew like fucking super duper old. Anyway. Well, no, because, no, I'm thinking, right, no, I'm thinking he died, right, no, right. I'm forgetting why I didn't think about this, is because he married her mother and everything like that, after all that. Way after. Right, the fight between Coulson and Cal was amazing. Great choreography again. Finally getting to see why everybody says Coulson is like so skilled in the field, or why he used to be at least. Like, we haven't really got to see that up until now. He's been good with guns, but that's about it. Getting to see him actually fight, yes, that is what I wanted. And so now just looming questions: who's going to be our new Hydra big bad? Because they're not anywhere near gone. And what's going to happen with Bakshi now that Whitehall is dead? I don't know if we're just going to immediately be like, alright, here's our new Hydra bad guy, or if, like, you're going to be like, well, Hydra's, we don't know who Hydra's working for right now, but Hydra is working for somebody. Maybe Strucker, because, that's coming up in the movies, but I don't think that'll, be in the show as a big prominent thing. Anyway, the Koenigs are back to fucking DC, or not DC, but HQ. I'm used to saying that because of the headquarters, but no, just new headquarters. I really hope we don't just write them out because they're back at our HQ. I hope that means we'll see them again when we go back there, but who knows how long it's going to be till we go back to HQ. But sad they're getting written out of the story again, just because I guess they can't get that Nelson's actor. That's it for this episode, though. As I said, and I've said about 1,000 times during this, we're doing Agent Carter next. So, I'll see you guys for that. I cannot... It's going to be 8 episodes. I have to fucking wait to find out what the hell's going on with this guy. But, stick with me. Stick with me, boys. We're going to do this. We're going to find it out. Until then, get the fuck out of here.